Wir sind wieder für euch im Auftrag der Videospiele unterwegs. Dieses Mal hat es uns nach London verschlagen, denn dort wartet Chris Taylor auf uns. Der hat ja zum Beispiel Total Annihilation gemacht, Dungeon Siege und Supreme Commander. Jetzt kommt bald Supreme Commander 2 raus und dazu wird er uns einiges erzählen.
You'll notice right away that this map is unlike any map you've seen in Supreme Commander 1 or Forged Alliance. All 18 operational maps have these incredible terrains, all handcrafted, all original. Now you'll notice that there's a bunch of playable area way up here that I can't see or get to because it followed, excuse me, the lunch is coming. It's fighting its way back up, but I'm not gonna, I'm the Supreme Commander of lunch. Oh, you'll be here all week. Try the veal. So here we've got the opening part, and as I accomplish each of the operations here, and this is some work in progress here, so we see some localization stuff that hasn't been filled in, but the operational area will expand, allowing me to do things, and I can take ships and submarines all the way around here. But I'll just play for a bit. Throw a mass extractor down like the first game. I can actually shift click and build. I get my path. We rewrote the rendering engine from scratch. The pathfinding system from scratch. We use a flow field system. So units could be on the other side of the map and they're still gonna flow. It's like taking a piece of rubber and pinching it at the bottom like a gravity field and pulling it down. All the units will flow into that low point. That's a super generalized example, but it means that you only need one to build the graph one time, regardless of the number of units. Yeah, speaking of breaking off, AI rewrote the AI. A lot of people want tougher AI, but they still don't want AI that cheats. The difference between good AI and AI that cheats, there are a lot of salties there, a lot of minutia. Hopefully he's shooting at those anti-air guns. Just blasting away here. I'm free moving the camera by holding the space bar. Yeah, that's pretty good. Enjoying that. What do you guys think of this idea? Yeah? And then give it legs. And then it's got some good anti-air capability. There we go, take that. Now this is a major experimental. And the thing that fights with a King Cryptor on the battlefield is the Universal Colossus. So these guys are actually enemies under normal circumstances. Other technological things are things like the UI system completely rewritten because we now have a 360 version that we developed in-house at Gas-Powered Games. The previous iteration was done externally. Very difficult undertaking for an external group to do when they don't have access to the internal team. But now that we've developed it all in-house, we have a 360 version that runs at 60 frames a second. Looks incredible, looks as beautiful as it does on the PC, especially when you're running HD. Now notice these magazines at the back. Okay, these are like clips. Remember those Pez dispensers? This is like the ultimate Pez dispenser. You let's queue up some tanks, and I can hold down shift and queue up a bunch at once. And then watch how they build fairly quickly and push up inside like cartridges, ammo. Okay, so I've got my units coming up inside, and then I'm gonna empty this thing all at one time. It's building while rotating and aiming. As they fire, it eats up. There they go. Now they're just getting gobbled up in there.
Wow.
When was the last time you saw anything like that in an RTS game? I feel like a proud father. Yeah. Oh, some survived. Nice, and he's already trying to gobble up the wreckage. There we go. See how long these guys can last in the heat. What I really need to do is knock out these things. He's nice. Oh, he's gone down. Oh, my commander's in there too? Whoops. This thing takes your units from one part of the map and it can move them right across to the other part. But here's the rub. The other shoe that drops is your opponent can come through the gate that you create and attack your base. So if you build this outside your base, this is an early, what we'll call a minor experimental unit. Now, experimental units, just quickly going off on that, can be deployed from their factories before they're completely built. And we call this half-baked. A unit that is half-baked, let's say it's 3/4 made, so it's 75% finished, and you deploy it. It means that it has a 25% chance on a time interval of failing or succeeding. So if a unit got to 95%, it would have a very low chance of failure. But why would you not let it go all the way? Like, you kind of be stuck. So it'd be like when you really want to half bake it, it's at 51%, but now it's going to fail half the time. So you got to make those choices. But if your opponent is literally marching into your base with like a Colossus, and the only thing that can take it on is a King Cryptor, and it's sitting there developing in the experimental gantry, you're like, I got to deploy this sucker.
So that means when it's 50% of the time, it could happen when it shoots that every second shot it won't work.
It's not guaranteed. In other words, it kind of fails. Think about a bunch of scientists tinkering away on something, and it could work for a minute, it could work for 10 seconds. You don't know, but it's directly related over time to the percentage completed. Now, once it's deployed, you can have your engineers take it all the way to the top and finish it off.
Ja, liebe Leute, das war Supreme Commander 2 und Chris Taylor. Das Ganze sieht sehr komplex aus, aber ich bin mir sicher, für die ganzen Echtzeitstrategen da draußen auf jeden Fall ein Schmankerl, das uns erwarten wird. Allerdings erst im März nächsten Jahres. In den USA soll es rauskommen. In Europa kommt es ein bisschen später. Eine 360-Version wird es auch geben. Da freue ich mich auf jeden Fall drauf. Ich bin gespannt. Ich möchte auf jeden Fall das Ding mal anzocken, weil dann kann man sich auch ein besseres Urteil darüber erlauben.